7 plus powerful lessons from the book, How to Meet the Rich. Number 1. When you associate with the rich, whether for business, friendship, or romance, you make contact with the very people most able to help you attain your dreams. There are lawyers, accountants, plastic surgeons, physicians, and dentists whose talents came to the attention of the rich. These professionals cultivated the silk stocking trade and went from having rich clients to being rich themselves. There are chauffeurs of the rich who eventually went into the transportation industry, developing a fleet of limousine services, shuttle services, bus lines, hotel-to-airline services, etc. There are maids to the rich whose work was so diligent and efficient that they now have their own maid services that were financed by their former rich employers. There are artists, singers, dancers, even psychics who have attained a place in the world because of a rich benefactor. And there are playwrights and authors who could never have made it without the support of a rich spouse. What did all these people have in common? They associated with the rich. They deliberately put themselves in positions to meet the rich. They kept their talents exposed to the rich. They made sure the rich were aware of their stability and dependable and honest character. The rich made these people rich too. Number 2. People are grouped together in a social class according to many things they have in common, including money. Typically, the 3 classifications are upper class, middle class, and lower class. The middle class is a working class, which includes white-collar professionals to many types of blue-collar workers, all of whom support our country with the broadest tax base and a good standard of living. The lower class is made up of transient workers, welfare recipients, and those whose poverty keeps them below a decent standard of living. The truth is, 2 people can have the same amount of money and not be in the same class. Relationships among the rich are based on how many traits, what I call layers of class, people have in common. And having certain layers of class in common can even override differences in wealth. Number 3. 20 ways to lose class fast. 1. Flaunt large vocabulary words, very second-rate. 2. Have trinkets dangling from your rearview mirror. 3. Have strongly opinionated bumper stickers or t-shirts. 4. Have chipped nail polish or uneven nail lengths. 5. Chew gum or use a toothpick in public. 6. Tell off someone in front of others. 7. Slurp coffee or other drinks. 8. Don't bathe daily. 9. Wear terribly unmatched or wrinkled clothes. 10. Constantly voice your opinions without reserve, twice a day is enough. 11. Wear clothes with shoddy buttonholes. 12. Wear scuffed shoes. 13. Have dirty fingernails, knuckles, or elbows. 14. Talk loudly enough for people at the next table to hear you on purpose. 15. Make a scene in public. 16. Try to impress anyone. 17. Ridicule someone poorer than you. 18. Act superior. 19. Act inferior. 20. Be antagonistic or rude to workers. Number 4. If there is one word that best defines the motivations of a status rich, it is prestige. From the clothes they wear to the cars they drive, it is only significant to them if it has prestige. And to a status rich, the nature of prestige is to make an expensive impression. Being somebody and having money are the driving forces behind the celebrity rich. And the way they know they are somebody is if they are recognized by the public and if they are the center of media attention. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you probably will not see us again. If you have, congratulations, you are growing every day. Number 5. 20 ways to find rich clients. Research. If you want to find rich clients in a particular industry, find publications about companies in that industry in your public library. Publicity. Wouldn't it be great to have the rich seek you out? Well, publicity is the best way to attract the rich to your business. There are many great lawyers in this country, but the ones who are sought after by the rich are the lawyers who get publicity. The same is true for physicians, chefs, investment brokers, fitness trainers, relationship consultants, memory trainers, and so forth. Sometimes the difference between a starlet and a movie star is made by publicity. The starlet may have more talent, but a star is made by publicity. The same is true of rock stars. If you are an entrepreneur, the skill of attaining publicity is perhaps the most important part of your business. An entrepreneur should have press releases going out as frequently as possible. Be an owner. Yes, the rich will occasionally do business with a junior executive from a large company, but they especially like to conduct business with business owners. Then, even if your business is small, you can reassure a rich client that you are the owner and therefore the decision maker who can negotiate special deals with them. Be an expert. If you are not an owner, that's okay, as long as you become an expert. And being published in your profession establishes you as an authority in your field. Referrals. Nothing beats a referral to get you in the door. It is always a plus if you can introduce yourself and add, "Your friend, Jill Andrews, president of Nationwide Bank, referred you to me. She thought you would be able to benefit from my services." However, never give a false reference. Your potential rich client will most certainly call Jill later to see if she shares an unspoken obligation to you, or if there is in fact something Jill found special in you. Likewise, be sure to ask a happy rich client to refer others to you. Simply ask if the client knows someone who might benefit from your products or services. Any reference given by your respected rich client is an excellent prospect. Always ask for a referral, even if the rich client declines your business. The person may want to soften the rejection by giving someone else's name. Mailing lists. Order mailing lists of individuals in the income range and area that your business targets, and mail information about your products or services. Never buy an entire mailing list until you have tested it. Ask the mailing list company to let you buy a test number at a cheaper price. If the list is no good, you haven't wasted too much money. Cold calls. It's a numbers game. Only 6 out of 100 people you cold call might be interested in your product or service. And out of those 6, only 2 stand a 50-50 chance of buying. Still, if you stand to make a large sum of money when you sell your services or just one of your products, then finding those 6 rich people who are interested is worth the rejection of the other 94 people. A goal of making 50 cold calls a day is pretty stiff, but there are a lot of successful people who do exactly that. For those of you who feel overwhelmed, take a compassionate approach with yourself. If you make only 3 cold calls a day, that is better than none. You have to start somewhere. Try to work your way up to live, then 10, then 20, then 50. Professional literature. Professional magazines and newsletters within the industry that interests you will keep you abreast of who the movers and shakers are in the industry. You can also read the business classified ads in the professional or industry magazines to see if there is someone who might use your business. And you can place business ads in the magazines yourself. Business classifieds. Follow guidelines for advertising. Usually, newspapers require your business be listed with the Better Business Bureau before they will let you advertise. Also study several ads that grab your attention and seem credible. Then ask yourself, what is the most important benefit a rich client would get from your products or services? Make that your bold headline. Professional, special interest, or industry organizations. If you qualify for full membership in an industry organization, work to become an officer, so that you can become involved with the major players who are typically rich leaders within the industry. Common cause. Closely related to special interest organizations is politics. I can think of no easier, more direct way to meet the people you want to meet than to get involved, actively involved, in your political party. Trade shows. Through associations, you learn when trade shows are being held. Top executives and business owners attend major trade shows. Be sure you have an itinerary of events and calculate which days and events are most likely to attract the rich you want to meet. Special interest seminars. Do the rich attend seminars? Yes, they do. Most of my rich clients are people who attended my seminars. There is an attorney who gives legal opinions on national television, who attended my seminar and then took a consultation. There are 2 Grammy Award winners who did the same thing. Millionaires, heiresses, and heirs, psychiatrists and psychologists, brain surgeons and CPAs have attended my seminars. Yes, the rich attend seminars. Seminars can be an effective method of showing how your business benefits the rich. There is nothing wrong with selling your products or services at a seminar, as long as you give full information to your audience, whether or not they buy anything. True, you are targeting the rich as your primary client base, But not all people who attend your seminars will be rich. Yet, you must never underestimate the ultimate potential of anyone. Alumni gatherings. Some graduates who become rich never look back at the sacred halls of college once they are gone, but many do. If you were well liked by your peers in college, alumni gatherings can help widen your rich contacts. Even those who are not rich will know old college friends who have become rich, or always were. Once they know what your business provides and that it will help those they know, they will recommend you. Annual stockholders meetings. One of my New York clients told me he went to an annual stockholders meeting and discovered he was sitting next to a wealthy stockholder. He said the man eventually became a business client of his. Church, temple, mosque, whatever your spiritual affiliation, you can often find members who would rather do business with someone of their own faith if they have a choice. Fundraising committees. By calling on the rich to donate money to a popular cause, you are making an acquaintance on a neutral ground. If this is an organization the person considers important, you will have that charitable interest in common. Then, the contact you make has the potential of being translated into a business prospect. Help them reach their goals. If you can help a rich client reach his or her own goals, you may get their help achieving yours too. Think backward. If you cannot penetrate your market through the usual means, try thinking backward. Instead of starting at the beginning and working toward the end result, start at the end result and work backward to find your rich clients. Anytime the usual way is not working for you, throw it out and try unorthodox methods for finding your rich clients. Become like-minded. The wonderful message of Napoleon Hill's masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich, is that all the wealth in the world began as a mere idea in the mind of a person. You learn a lot about the rich by reading about them. You learn how they think and what appeals to them. You absorb the common denominators of those of self-made greatness. Just as important as absorbing their successful qualities is seeing how very human they are. Many times they have endured hardships you never knew they had. Reading about the twists and turns in their lives and how they worked through them gives you the encouragement to persist in the face of self-doubt. It can also give you ideas of how to solve similar problems, or even trigger a link to how to solve an unrelated problem. Study of the rich leads you directly to the rich, through an understanding of motives, mind, and pursuit of wealth. Number 6. A list of the 12 most important traits the rich seek in a business associate. The number 1 trait may surprise you. It surprised me. 1. Love your work. It seems that most of the rich want to work with people who love what they do. Passion for your work virtually guarantees superior quality. 2. No ambivalence. Many of the rich said they want to work with a person who has no ambivalence about success. They want to work with someone who passionately wants to succeed. This is especially important if someone approaches them for a partnership or an investment. 3. Honesty. This is the one I expected to be first, and clearly it is important. No one wants to work with someone who is dishonest. If you find a wallet, you return it. When you pay for an item and the cashier gives you more change than you are supposed to receive, give him or her back the excess. The rich said it is the little things like this that impress them. 4. Independent thinker. You do not have to butt heads with the rich who can make or break you, but you will be better off in the long run if you express your true belief in a matter. If asked, you are not a disagreeable troublemaker, but you are not a yes person. 5. Not petty. This was another trait the rich mentioned that I had not expected. Keep business records, they said, but not personal score. Scorekeeping of who did what to whom and when drains the sap out of rapport. The rich will not respect you if you are a pushover or a patsy, so you should, of course, stick up for yourself when needed. But people who do not burden themselves and others with petty complaints usually have a benevolent spirit and a generous heart, both of which command client loyalty. 6. Consistent action. Anyone can hop eagerly into a new project when the excitement is high, but it is the individual who continues to maintain a high productive profile when the newness has worn off who keeps the respect of a rich client. 7. Accept responsibility. Be careful with this one. You must be willing to accept responsibility for your actions, but if there is possible liability, do not jump in and volunteer that you are responsible or offer to pay anything. thinking you are being noble. You might end up eating those words in a lawsuit. Instead, if your rich client confronts you about something that might have legal implications, tell the client you will look into the matter. Then, contact your attorney and work out a solution to the problem. 8. Originality. You must bring something new to the table or there is no reason for your rich client to be interested. If all you have to tell the person is what everyone else is saying, you are probably too late. If you can point out unique views or solutions, you will show yourself as valuable. 9. Client-oriented. The rich do not want you to kowtow to them, but they want to know that you have their best interests at heart when you do business together. 10. Keep your word. If you say you will be somewhere at a certain time, be there on time. If you commit to something, do it. Of course, you want to use written contracts in business because it is a good business practice, but your word should also be your contract. 11. Has more money coming in than going out. That's how one of my rich clients described the type of person he wants to do business with. If your rich clients sense you can't take care of your own money, they won't want you to touch theirs. 12. Professionalism. The rich I talk to emphasize that your level of professionalism is important. They defined it as promptness, appropriate dress, respect of their time with succinct presentations, providing neat, easy-to-follow charts or support materials, no undue bravado, but matter-of-fact pointing up of skills or talents that separate you or your company from the run-of-the-mill in accomplishing common goals, thoroughness, and pausing to answer questions. Leaving on time. If you said it would take you only 15 minutes, don't stay 45. Number 7. How to meet the rich socially. Go to auctions. Whether or not you buy anything, go to a few auctions. An auction is only as good as the auction house or the estate being auctioned, i.e., the level of wealth. Fine antique furniture auctions are the best. Some estate auctions can also be good. Art auctions are iffy, but you will want to attend a few. If it is a rather nondescript collection, you will find mostly nondescript people. Even then, there will usually be one or two rich bidders with eclectic taste wandering through to see if they discover new talent. Take prestigious art classes. Ask several art supply stores for the names of the most prestigious artists in your area who give lessons. Ask the same question at some of the better art galleries. You can even telephone regional art magazines and inquire about top artists who give lessons. Volunteer for a medical charity. If you cannot afford to be a patron to a medical charity, then consider being a volunteer for a medical cause you believe in with all your heart. You can meet practicals, pedigrees, celebrities, and status rich. Volunteer for a political party. Nowhere can you meet more of the very people you want to meet than by getting very, very active in your political party. Work on committees as much as possible. You can develop friendship and connections that can be invaluable. During elections, your committee will be invited to watch parties that are usually held in the homes of influential leaders in the party. And yes, the same volunteer rules apply here too. You want people to think of you when they think of forming an important committee. You gain stature that way. Find out if new special events are coming up. Then go to the organizational meeting. Volunteer to be on the steering committee. Be a collector. To become a collector, you need a basic level of knowledge about collectibles in your area of interest, and you need money to build your collection. Not all collectibles are expensive, but a bona fide collector does not buy anything unless it meets the standards the collector has set for his or her collection. The rich usually try to build a collection that has investment value. So value is one of the standards typically set by the rich for their collectibles. Choose a collection that appeals to you. Research it in the library. Subscribe to publications for collectors. Meet the rich through your children. Enroll your children in schools where children of the rich are enrolled. As they make friends, you will get to know the parents. Rich schools often have parent volunteer programs. Join and meet other parents. This social activity can lead to friendships and to a wider, more influential social life. You can meet pedigrees, flamboyance, and status-rich parents. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you probably will not see us again. If you have, congratulations, you are growing every day. Number 8. Think of your mind as being a cup of hot water. And think of rich neighborhoods as a rare, exotic tea filled with all the flavors of the rich lifestyle, the traditions, the value systems, and the mannerisms. This is a very important mental picture because when you get an address in a rich neighborhood, you will find that you have not moved into a rich neighborhood at all. You have moved the rich neighborhood into you. And like the tea steeping in hot water, all the qualities of the rich lifestyle steep into you. If you later move away, then just as when you remove tea leaves from hot water, you will see that the water is not water anymore. Now the water contains all the same properties as the tea.